Hi there guys, I'm Nikhil from Notion Hub, and in this video, I'll be showing you the most important features of the Redmi Note 11 Pro Plus 5G. By the way, I've already posted a dedicated video for the tips and tricks section where I've talked about many things which I won't be covering in this video. Definitely check out that video, link will be in the description. With that said, the most highlighting feature about this phone would be its performance. This phone actually comes with a Snapdragon 695 processor with Adreno 619 GPU, with up to 8GB of LPDDR4X RAM and up to 256GB of UFS 2.2 storage. Purely in terms of performance, it is definitely one of the best phones in this price segment. Next, this phone also has a pretty impressive display. This phone comes with a 6.67-inch AMOLED display with Full HD Plus resolution, with a peak brightness of 1200 nits, and it's also got a display with 120Hz screen refresh rate. It is definitely one of the best looking displays that you can get in this price segment. Next best thing about this phone would be its charging speeds. This phone comes with a massive 5000 mAh battery, supports fast charging, and actually comes with a 67W turbocharger inside the box. You can literally charge your phone from 0 to 100% in just about an hour, and you can easily get up to 80% of charge in about 30 minutes. So that's some pretty impressive charging speeds.
Now the next best thing about this phone would be the dark mode. Now you can enable this feature from display settings, and once you turn it on, all the UI elements change to the dark mode theme, and now the UI looks much more cooler. Now this dark mode helps you save some battery and strains your eyes less if you're using your phone late at night. Next we have Game Speed Booster 2.0. Now this one feature gives you a lot of cool features. It improves your gaming experience. You can configure in-game shortcuts, restrict network switching while playing game, restrict background sync, prioritize network usage. You can also enable silent mode, do not disturb mode, and even fix screen brightness. You can just add games to the list, and every time you open a game, all these settings are enabled automatically. Now with 2.0, you can also increase touch responsiveness, sensitivity, and even add touch resistance areas.
Next we have Wi-Fi Assistant. Now mostly, this feature will be enabled by default. This feature automatically switches your Wi-Fi connection depending upon the connection speed and signal strength. If for some reason your Wi-Fi network is not working, or if the Wi-Fi connection is poor, mobile data is turned on automatically. Next we have Traffic Mode. Once you enable this feature and select Extreme Mode only, the current application will have priority over the internet. To enable that, you need to go to the Wi-Fi settings. Let's say you're playing PUBG or any other game that needs internet, and if you want the best experience and you don't want any kind of lag because of other applications, just enable this feature and select Extreme Mode. Next we have a brand new control center which looks pretty similar to iOS, and you can enable it from the display settings. Once you enable it, you can swipe from the right side corner for the control center or the notification toggles, and you can swipe from the left side for the regular notifications. Yes, it's copied, but who cares, it's really nice. Next we have Video Toolbox. Now this is an add-on feature which pops up while you're watching videos on some applications, say like YouTube, Amazon Prime or Netflix. You can enable this feature for compatible apps from settings. Now once you have enabled this feature, let's say you're watching a video, say on YouTube, you can swipe from a corner to bring up a pop-up menu. From here you have some extra options, and you can also open listed applications in floating windows. Going on next, we have floating windows. This is pretty similar to the Samsung's floating windows or pop-up windows, but with a slightly different implementation. You can enable this feature from settings. Now from recent apps menu, you can just press and hold on any application and then select the floating window icon to open the application in a floating window. Now you can move this around holding the top bar on the window, dismiss it by swiping on the bottom bar, tap and hold on the app and drag it to any corner, and it will minimize to even smaller window. Now you can just swipe on it to dismiss it. It has a bit of a learning curve, but it's a pretty good implementation. Going on next, we have full screen gestures, and once you enable these gestures, you can swipe from the bottom of the screen to go home, swipe and hold for recent apps, and you can swipe from the left side or right side to go back a step. For Google Assistant, swipe from the bottom left corner or bottom right corner diagonally, and it will trigger Google Assistant. Besides that, you can also swipe left or right on the bottom part of the screen to quickly switch between the applications. Here's a quick preview.
Next, I'm going to show you some important MIUI 11 related features. First, we have different notification styles. From here, you can choose between Android style or MIUI styles, and there is definitely a pretty significant difference between the notification styles of stock Android and MIUI. Next, we have dynamic alarms. Now this is a brand new feature in MIUI 11 that gives you dynamic alarm tones depending upon the time of the day.
So if you have an alarm in the morning, you get a different tone. If you have it in the evening, you get a different tone. So that's the new dynamic alarm feature, and we also get a lot of new natural sounds. Next we have MI Share. Now this is a feature from Xiaomi, just like Share It, which can be used to transfer any kind of data between two smartphones. When compared to Share It, at least this version is much more cleaner. Next we have Digital Wellbeing. Now this is a feature from Google which literally tracks all your usage, analyzes it and gives you a complete report. Using this feature you can track your usage, and if you want, you can also put restrictions upon yourself. Like if you don't want to use YouTube for more than 15 minutes a day, you can put such restrictions using this feature. Next we have Bedtime Mode. Now this feature is pretty similar to Wind Down from Google's Digital Wellbeing, and once you enable this feature and configure it, it will automatically enable grayscale mode, that's to make your display black and white at a specific time every day or depending upon your settings. It just acts like a quick reminder for you to sleep.
Now going on next, we have some handy gestures. First we have the double tap to wake. Now this one is pretty simple. Just enable this feature and double tap your screen to wake it up. If you are using face unlock on this phone, then you can simply double tap your phone wakes up, sees your face and immediately unlocks the phone. You don't even have to use the fingerprint scanner. It is super convenient. Next we have raise to wake. Now this is another super useful feature. Once you enable this feature, every time you raise your phone, your display lights up and shows you the lock screen. Once again, if you have enabled face unlock feature, it wakes up, sees your face and immediately unlocks the phone. So this feature in combination with face unlock works just like the latest iPhones. Now going on next, we have two super shortcuts to quickly open the camera application. First way is to open the camera application by pressing the power button twice. This particular shortcut works anywhere and anytime. Just enable it from additional settings, and every time you press the power button twice, camera application will pop up almost immediately. Most of the time it works. Another way to open camera application is from the lock screen. Now once you enable this feature from lock screen settings, on your lock screen you can press the volume down button twice to quickly open the camera application. Well, that's a feature and it works, but personally I still like to use the power button. Now going on next, we have 3-finger screenshot. Now before I show you that feature, let me show you how to take a regular screenshot. On this phone or any other phone out there, especially Android phones, if you want to take a screenshot, press the volume down and power button both at the same time. Once you do that, your phone will take a screenshot. For some reason, if that's a bit difficult for you, you can always use the notification toggle. Now coming back to 3-finger screenshot, once you enable this feature, you can simply swipe down using 3 fingers to take a screenshot. This is personally my favorite way to take a screenshot. Next we have long screenshot. Now to take a long screenshot on this phone, first we need to take a regular screenshot. We can either use the buttons, notification toggle or the gesture. And once you have taken a picture, you will get a preview at the top right corner of the screen. Just click that and then click scroll. Your phone will scroll the current application automatically and then take a long screenshot. If you want to stop in between, you can always click the done button and it will take a long screenshot up to that point. You can find those long screenshots along with your regular screenshots. Next we have reading mode. On many other phones it's also called as night mode, and once you enable this feature, it puts a warm tint on the screen and filters the blue light. According to research, blue light emitted by our displays at night will affect our sleep. So using this feature will prevent that. We can also change the intensity of the warm tint. We can also schedule it to turn on and turn off at a specific time or at sunrise and sunset. Going on next, we have one-handed mode. Now for some reason, if you think this phone has a massive display and if you can't use it single-handedly, you can use this feature. Once you turn on this feature, you can swipe on the navigation bar from home to left or right to shrink the screen. In this mode, you can literally do anything. Make calls, take pictures and do everything with a single hand. You can swipe in the same direction to go full screen. You can swipe in the opposite direction to switch to the other side and do it again to go full screen once again. From settings, you can also change the size of this window. I'm at the screen. Next, we have some pretty cool gestures related to phone calls. First, we have flip to silence ringer. Now, just like the name suggests, when your phone is lying on a flat surface, when you get a call, you can flip your phone to silence the ringer. Next, this phone has a super handy feature to identify unknown numbers. Just like Truecaller, Xiaomi collects information from various sources to identify spam and scam calls. It isn't as effective as Truecaller, but it does work. Now going on next, we can also change the background app usage. MIUI offers you additional options to tweak individual apps to further improve battery life. You can completely stop applications from running in the background. You can restrict background access. You can restrict background sync and usage and do stuff like that. It might help, but usually its effects are not that visible. Now going on next, we have wireless display. Now using this feature, you can cast the screen of your phone to any television with Mirrorcast or to a Chromecast. This feature works really well with MI TVs. Next we have MI Mover. Now if this is a brand new phone and if you want to transfer all your data from your previous Xiaomi phone to this new Xiaomi phone, you can use this feature. Just select MI Mover on both phones and do the needful to transfer all your data from your previous phone to your brand new phone. Next we have local backup. In backup and reset settings, we have the option to backup everything on your phone, along with user data. This is really handy when you have to reset your phone and quickly take a backup of your apps. Now when you reset your phone, all this data will be deleted. So once you are done with the backup, copy it to your PC or a pen drive and transfer it back to your phone once you are done resetting your phone. Now going on next, we have themes. If you are someone who likes to tweak the look and feel of your phone, then Xiaomi phones or MIUI itself is great for that. You have tons of themes, tons of fonts and wallpapers and stuff. You can download it from the Themes app and apply them with just a click of a button. Next we have a super handy feature called Scanner. It's more like an application itself. Now this is how it looks like. You can scan a regular QR code and most importantly take pictures of documents. Now no matter which angle you take pictures in, it automatically aligns the page, changes the perspective and crops the image to give you the perfect document. You can also grayscale it and copy the text from the image. Next we have screen recording. Now if you're someone who likes to record the screen of your phone, then on this phone there is a dedicated application called Recorder just to do that. Just open the application and click the record button. You will see a floating button and you can start recording whenever you want by clicking that big red button. Once you're done, you can click the stop button and you can find that recording in your gallery. Next we have auto start permission. No matter how many times you kill any application or close an application, some applications start automatically in the background, say like Facebook, Instagram and Twitter, and they end up draining the battery, especially if you don't use those apps a lot. So using this feature, you can restrict those applications from auto starting in the background. Next we have App Vault. Now looking at the name, you might think it's an app lock kind of a feature. Well, it's not. In the default launcher on the leftmost screen, you get a dedicated page with multiple widgets for quick shortcuts, notes, stock prices, call a cab feature, cricket scores and so on. So if you want to see this page, enable App Vault, and if you want to hide it, disable it. Next we have the option to mirror buttons. Now usually on most phones, especially phones with pure stock Android, it doesn't give you the option to swap the back and menu button. But on this phone, we can do it. Next we have an app lock built into the system. We can set it up with a different password from your lock screen password and obviously lock applications. Now whenever you try to open any locked application, you have to either enter the password or we can use a fingerprint scanner. Now there are many third-party applications which can do the same, but this feature comes inbuilt and it's quite secure. Next we have Folder Vault. Now using this feature, we can hide files on your phone. Whether it's a video, photo or any other file, you can hide all those files in the Folder Vault. To use this feature, open the file manager and swipe down until you see the lock icon. Once again, you have to set up a password and it can be different from any other password you have already set. Now once you're done configuring this feature, you can select any file, go to menu and click hide to hide that file. So guys, those were all the best features. If I missed on anything important, do let me know by commenting below this video and definitely check out my video on tips and tricks section. Link is in the description. Now if you're planning to buy this phone, please use the link in the description. It always helps the channel, and if you want us to make any specific video, tweet out to us with the hashtag AskGreedyTech on Twitter and we will try to make it as soon as possible. I'm Nikhil from GreedyTech signing off. Have a nice day.